So there's this interview by this man called Scott Galloway on the Diary of a CEO podcast, which I'm sure you've probably heard of by now. He's known for going on these women you tangents where he accuses women of rejecting incels. In that podcast, he's talking about how men are lonely and how men swipe 200 times just to get one coffee date who will ghost him. So men are lonely and women are the reason why. Somehow, women are creating a generation of incels by withholding their energy, presence, and attention from men. Scott Galloway is essentially saying women are responsible for men's loneliness because we won't settle for coffee dates, because we won't allow dusty, crusty men to access our legs and our uteruses, and because we won't give our free labor and become surrogate moms to them while paying half the bills, only for them to ask us what we bring to the table. In the first place, why on earth should a woman who puts time and effort into her looks go for a man who will only take her to coffee? Beauty is currency. That makes absolutely no sense. The woman in question is going to end up regretting it because the man's ego will not be able to take it. He will use her and treat her like shit, and if she's richer than him, he will cheat on her using the money she worked extra hard for and might put her life in danger in the process. Let's listen to the video, shall we?
A man of average attractiveness has to swipe right 200 times to get one coffee, and then 4 of those 5 coffees will ghost him. You can't tell women to lower their expectations, but this is the reality. When you ask a man if you could have a woman who had 80% of everything you wanted, 75% say, yeah, I'm on board. Mm-hmm. When you say to a woman, a man has 80% of what you want, 75% say that's not enough. But even look at the media.
Right.
What does the media tell a woman to do? He's out. Mm-hmm. But he didn't open your door. He's not nice to his parent. Walk right out on that man. Like, it's literally every piece of media is, you don't need him. You're a strong, independent woman. Pull the ripcord. You're out. The basic kind of communication around this is you are a strong, independent, powerful woman. That is wonderful. And quite frankly, you don't need the imperfect man. They're just not connecting. I read that on Tinder, a man of average attractiveness has to swipe right 200 times to get one coffee, and then 4 of those 5 coffees will ghost him. They will decide they don't want to meet him or they won't show up. That means a guy of average attractiveness has to swipe right 1,000 times to get one coffee. Now, what does that tell that guy? Women don't value me. Women make me feel rejected. And then they go online and they see these misogynists telling them it's not your fault. And these men become much more prone to misogynistic content, much more prone to nationalistic content, blaming other people for the lack of economic opportunity. They start sequestering from society. I worry that we are literally evolving a new species of asexual, asocial male. And if a man by the age of 30 hasn't either lived with someone or married someone, there's a 1 in 3 chance he's going to have a substance abuse problem.
Okay, Scott is making it look like it's women's fault that men get one coffee after 1,000 swipes. Why is a man trying to get 1,000 matches instead of studying women's profiles and trying to find a few quality women he can match with while making sure he is a quality man himself? If you're doing something and it isn't working, maybe you should do some introspection or try something new. Einstein, a man, said the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. They should probably take their own advice. Maybe if they hear it from a man, they'll be more willing to embrace the message. Instead of Scott Galloway putting the entire blame on women, maybe he should help men find themselves, love themselves more, and try to be better men. That is what Scott Galloway should have told men, because the truth is, you attract what you are. He also said we are evolving a new species of asocial, asexual men. Women are also not having intercourse with men on a large scale. So we are also evolving a new species of single, happy, maybe asexual women. More and more men and women are becoming single, but you don't hear women complaining about being single. What is wrong with men becoming single? Why can't men stay single for even 2 seconds? Will the earth collapse if men become single for a couple of seconds? Those are the kind of questions we need to be asking. Those are the discussions we need to be having instead of every day women this, women that. And towards the end, Scott Galloway said if a man by the age of 30 hasn't married someone or lived with someone, the chances of him having a substance abuse problem are 1 out of 3. When I heard that, I was like, that sounds like a you problem, not women's problem. And if a man is prone to substance abuse when he doesn't get a woman or he doesn't get what he wants, is that the kind of man, Scott, you should be pushing towards women? Is that the kind of man you should be pushing women to? I think that's unfair. And the way he worded it sounded like a threat. I didn't like the energy around that message at all. Women are waking up and realizing that being independent and single is a fantastic choice too. Men should also try staying single and working on themselves. Who knows? They might become better and find peace within themselves. So they don't always have to bother women, so they don't always have to be in women's spaces. My final message to Scott Galloway is, the answers to men's problems isn't women lowering their already bare minimum standards. Women's standards have historically been below the lowest of the bare minimums last born. There is no other lowering of the bar women can and should do to accommodate men's insecurities.
Most dangerous person in the world, we're producing millions of them, and that is a lonely, young, broke male. The number of high school teenagers that sees their friends every day has been cut in half, that we're slowly but surely sequestering from each other. And when we do that, we become less mammalia. If you have dogs are happiest when they're lying on top of you. The worst thing you can do to a dog is leave it alone all day. And what we're doing to young people is they are leaving others and themselves alone all day. We're separating from each other. We're becoming less social. And there's a group of men who aren't received well at school, don't find a source of pride. Auto shop, metal shop, wood shop's gone away. They go online to date. The majority of them get rejected. If you're average attractiveness in online dating, you have to swipe right 200 times to get a single coffee. If you set up 5 coffees, you'll get 1 will actually show up. 4 of the 5 will ghost you and decide later on they don't actually want to meet up. So a young man of average attractiveness in online dating has to swipe right 1,000 times. So he gets validation for 1 coffee. He gets validation that he has no worth to the other sex. He loses confidence. He starts engaging with people because he has less opportunities for random encounters where he has to develop those skills. And slowly but surely he sequesters from society. And at some point, he just is not really savable. He just never develops those skills around friendship or romantic relationships. In the United States, 1 in 7 men doesn't have a single friend. 1 in 4 can't name a best friend. In addition, marriage has become now a luxury item. If you're in the upper quartile of income-earning households, there's a 3 in 4 chance you're going to get married. If you're in the lower quartile, there's a 3 in 4 chance you will never get married.